Welcome back to the Rouges. We're talking about Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Tonight we're going to be shifting our focus from the men's side of soccer to the women's side of soccer, as we're going to be talking about the upcoming Arnold Clark Cup for the women's national soccer team, specifically the Canadian women's national soccer team. And then stay tuned also for later on for uh, the U.S. women's national team She Believes Cup. Unfortunately, Canada and the USA will not be competing in the same tournament, so it's going to be the Canadian women's national soccer team competing in the Arnold Clark Cup, which is new for me as I'd never heard of it. So, but I do know that the following nations will be in this one. So England, Germany, and Spain. England are the host, as well as all the stadiums and games will be played in England, is to my understanding. And I mean, yeah, you stay tuned at also for the end of the video for upcoming specific schedule announcements and game announcements. And times are still TBD as of us recording this. So, but I can at least tell you when the day is that they're going to be playing. So stay tuned for that. But in this video, we're going to be unpacking the Canadian women's roster, game announcements, as well as even a little special announcement that I got at the end of the video for 100 subs that I'm going to start doing. And thanks to actually a recommendation by one of my other subs who just subbed to me. So stay tuned for that, and who knows. Your name, if you know who you are, I already promised you a special something at the end of the video, so stay tuned for this one to hear your name announced, as well as one of your other names on the same video will be announced in the US video that I'll be making shortly after this one. But without further ado, let's go ahead and unpack the Canadian women's national team roster that they've released for the Arnold Clark Cup that's coming up from February 17th to the 23rd of this month. So honestly, in a couple days, I mean, it's a week away, but time is flying. So without further ado, let's announce this. Now, some of these names you're going to recognize, and some of these you're not. And I mean, I'm honestly shocked by there's a lot of the new names that are being called in here, but I mean, this is also excitement, kind of like the U.S. women's national team, right? Where there's a transition period between new and old, or old and new, I should say, where this is like a passing of the torch. But without further ado, let's go ahead and announce this. And as I always say, sorry in advance if I butcher or mispronounce these names, but I'm going to do my best to try and pronounce these all correctly. So without further ado, here we go. So the first name we have is Marie Yasmin Aladou. And then we have Janine Becky. Then we have Tanya Boychuk. So once again, sorry for pronouncing these names, but those are already two new names, Aladou and Boychuk. Kadesha Buchanan, we know. Gabrielle Carly, we're familiar with. Alicia Chapman. Sabrina D'Angelo, that's a new one. Jessie Fleming. Vanessa Giles. Julia Grosso. Jordan Heidema. Gotta be careful there. Devin Kerr, new name. Chloe Lacasse, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, that's new. Ashley Lawrence, Eric McLeod, Victoria Pickett, Nichelle Prince, Quinn, Jade Revere, Deanne Rose, Sophie Skibb, Desiree Scott, Kaylin Sheridan, Suri Yeka, I think I've heard of her, and Shalene Zadorsky. So those are your names for this new roster, and yeah, we've got a few names I kind of want to talk about. So as we obviously can't see, there is no Sinclair on this list, and it's probably due to the passing of the torch. And given how they're trying to give an opportunity for new names to come on this list, such as Aladou, Boyachek, D'Angelo, Kerr, and I can go on. But I like this, honestly. I mean, this is going to be an interesting team to watch, and depending on how Beth Priestman puts the team together, it's going to be interesting to see how she do between cross between old and new, and this is going to be just fascinating, hopefully, to watch, as they've got some tough opponents, and this is going to be a tough test coming up for them, and good tests coming up, honestly. I mean, Germany's good team, England, of course, are a great team, and Spain, great team. They all of which made the World Cup in 2019. And including Canada. So, I mean, this is going to be fun to watch, hopefully, and interesting. It's going to be a great test for them. But other than that, I mean, you got your usual names. It looks like the usual anchors, along with a few new additions, which is good. But other than that, it's going to be fascinating to watch, and I can't wait to see how they do in the upcoming tournaments. As I said, I'm not familiar with some of the new names on here, so I'm really going to get to learn them over the course of the next couple of days when they start playing games. And hopefully they're going to be living up to expectation, or if they're young, we get to see them become better and better players, and just to see them evolve throughout the duration of this program. And that's always going to be fascinating to watch. But yeah, that's something I'm really interested in seeing for these new players, and hopefully it's gonna be well. But so that's the roster. Um, see any kind of names I can elaborate on. Let's see. Jordan Heidema, she's gonna be back, as well as Alicia Buchanan. Think about the other anchors to the lineup as well as going back to the last friendly against Mexico. That I know they fell 1-0 in the final game, but they did win 2-1 in the earlier one. It's going to be interesting to see, as obviously the tournament is going to be way different than a friendly. There's going to be a lot more to play for here, as well as just a lot more on the line. And there's actually a trophy on the line, and yeah, there's quality competition coming up, and I'm really, really fascinated about that. And yeah, this really makes me happy to see it. So far, these names look really, really great. Vanessa Giles, Liz Chapman, and Zadorski. We can't forget about her. And then Sheridan, the keeper. I think that's going to be the go-to keeper. But some of the young players that are being called up are going to be interesting to see too. As I can't wait to see how they perform. But then other than your usual names, I think it's pretty straightforward. Not really a lot of roster change there, but there's quite a bit of moving and shaking in terms of the lineup. And then, now most importantly, I want to go to who they play. That's most important. I'm pretty sure who we're all looking forward to. And as I'm saying this, the times are still TBD, but the dates looks like they're finalized. And so, the first game takes place on February 17th, 2022. Obviously this year. I don't got to say this year, but February 17th, so next week from now exactly. Riverside Stadium against England, and yeah, that's going to be hopefully fascinating to watch. That's got England obviously right off the money. You got the host team, the host nation, and already know England's going to bring it. It's their tournament, and they're going to obviously want to win their tournament. So the England's going to bring it. You can already expect that they're going to come out playing, and they're going to come out testing Canada. So this is going to be really, really interesting to watch, and hopefully a fun matchup, and hopefully a great tester for a lot of these new faces that are coming into the Canadian national lineup. And then for February 20th, we go to the next one. They play Germany, and as I said, with England, Germany is also a great team, one of the best in the world in terms of the women's team. And it's going to be yet another quality test for these new faces that are coming into the Canadian team to try and prove that, hey, we can play too, and we deserve a spot as well in this lineup. So there you go. England, Germany right off the spat. And then into the next one, we have Spain, on the February 23rd. So we got Spain at, I might butcher the name of the stadium, Millennium Stadium, I believe, also still in England. So all these games will be in England. However, Spain, once again, also a great team. World Cup they were in the World Cup last year. Get it right. 2019, they're in the World Cup. And, they gave the United States a great test, 1-0. The United States barely escaped that one, if I remember correctly. And Spain, there is no bad team. That's what I like about this tournament right now. The Arnold Clark Cup, given by the list of teams and list of names I read, there is no particularly team that everybody's going to just browbeat or just go around and just take points off of, right? It's not like the team that everybody's going to farm. So everybody is in this, as I'm seeing on paper, is a contender, honestly, for this trophy. Canada, obviously, what they did in the Olympics, in 2021, so last year, Spain, we can't sleep on them. I know they've been pretty quiet, but they're still really, really great, especially one of the top teams in Europe, along with, I thought there was Sweden, Germany, and England. You've got Germany, also is really, really good, and then England, of course, are on the same caliber. So all of these teams are really going to be great tests for them. And, there is no game where Canada's going to get an easy win, as let's just say. All these games are going to test them. All these games are going to really, really look forward to and just really test out the new players for this Canadian lineup. And, yeah, we're really going to find out what are a lot of these new players and new names that are being called up into the lineup, what they're made of. How they're gonna define themselves, right? A lot's gonna be known coming up in the future about this. But those are the games. Quick disclaimer: February 20th. That's going to be probably a late reaction against Germany, as right now, as things stand, I'm currently projected to go to Montreal for a couple of days. So, but I should be back well before February 23rd. So that game should be on time against Spain. But for Germany, this game might be a little late. But honestly, I mean, I'll try and do that. It'll probably be a late reaction on the night of the February 22nd, at the night I come back. So I'll do that. I'll get that best as I can out to you guys as soon as possible. And then the next day we'll just roll right into February 23rd. So that's how things will probably go. But that, in terms of the game before that, England on 17th, that should be a normal release date. And hopefully I'll get to watch that, and it'll be, an interesting lineup and fun games. Hopefully all these games will be fun. They're a tough test, as I'm thinking about. It's going to be a tough test. Last year we go back to the She Believes Cup for the United States. They gave the United States, honestly, a run for their money until the 70th minute, where the United States managed to break through. But the whole tournament, Canada got pretty much, I think, was it tied for second place, maybe? I know Brazil beat them 2-0. But, Canada really put a lick on Argentina. I think it was 4-0. And, yeah, I know they lost to the U.S. narrowly. They lost to Brazil, but they beat Argentina. So, unlike that tournament, there is no easy points here, as I'm seeing. So Canada will have to earn every single game here. And that's good. It's perfect World Cup qualifying. Yeah, that and just World Cup qualifying and World Cup caliber just test, right? What fun would it be if you can go around just beating every team 11-0 or 4-0, right? Easy win, right? You're in games that you don't really take away from or a lot from. Rather, games that will test you and really expose what you need to work on, like teams like Sweden, the U.S., England, Germany, Spain. It's good. Right? I know we all want the game where Canada beats down that team, like, I don't know, 8-0, but then the games where it's like in front of Germany or England, we're all like, this is going to hurt to watch, right? Especially if they lose. But at the same time, these can also be just as great of a game, if not better, as they can be often closely contending games. As, they can, even if they're just 1-1, 1-0, 2-1, the Canadian women's team can also take something key and caliber to look for from this games. So that's what this tournament is, and if they win it, they come on top, then hey, they're just proving once again that they are a top world team, and that's what we all want, right? And so yeah, that's what I'm hoping to take away from this tournament. Quality teams coming up. We'll see what this team is made of. There might be some frustrating moments, but hey, it's all part of the World Cup, process, and just getting ready to just train this team and get ready for, Australia and New Zealand in 2023. I think their qualifiers start this year, so if not this year, then definitely next year. But hey, another just key quality tests coming up, and interesting to see how this. Where they say diamonds. They say cold under pressure turns to diamond, right? Well, let's see if this Canadian national team is made of diamonds, right? Can they handle the pressure? They've obviously proven it to us in the gold. In the Olympics when they got gold. Can they do it again in this tournament? I know it's not really a big giant tournament, but it's still something to play for and something that they can really take away and learn from. So let's see if they can do that here. Once again, got England, Germany, Spain, all quality contending teams in my eyes on paper for the World Cup coming in 2023. It's going to be really looking forward to. And yeah, unless one of the teams proves me wrong, and unless there is a blowout and let's say Spain is not as good as I think they are, which I doubt it. All these teams are good. Then I'm going to be shocked myself, but I honestly think it's going to be a great tournament to watch. Definitely going to be some nervy moments in there and some frustrating moments, but it's all part of the process, as I said. It's better to expose it now rather than get to the World Cup and slip up there. Even World Cup qualifiers. Let's say you're playing the U.S. or Mexico, for that matter. You slip up and then you mess around and don't qualify, which would be awful and honestly unheard of, as Canada and the USA are both expected to qualify in CONCACAF. I know Mexico is on the rise, but Canada and USA are obviously heavily favored to qualify. there is no doubt that they will qualify, but just the thought of Canada, the USA not qualifying, in particular in this case, Canada, let's say losing to Mexico or Costa Rica, you know, which is at the moment, I mean, it'd be a shocker. But let's say if you don't learn from one of the moments from the tournaments, you go in and you don't capitalize, you get shocked, and then you gain worst fear of all, you miss out on the World Cup. So hopefully Canada can just take away some valuable pieces from that tournament. Once again, the Arnold Clark Cup held by England coming up in the next few days, from February 17th to the 23rd. There will be a delay on the Germany game, but I will do my best to get that out as possible. But then again, things can always change, so of course with the current pandemic, but we'll see. At the moment, things are, that's going to be a late reaction, but as I said, I'll do my best. And then finally, I just want to end on a new tradition I'll probably start doing after every video, which started on the 100 sub special, where I'm going to do a random shout out to very guy. He requested it, and I said, yeah, I see no harm in it. I see benefits, if anything. I mean, I give your channel a shout out, and I mean, yeah, your name is in my video, and I mean, hey, you could probably share my content with your friends, and I mean, it's a win-win all around. So the first comment, as well as the next comment, which you'll see again, will probably be the exact same post on the US video if you're watching that. It's going to be same guys, but start off with Raylon. I know you requested it, but here you are. And so I promise, a promise is a promise. And here you are, Raylon, congrats, you're in this video, as well as the next name will be Jamal. You will also be in the video, as well as the US video, as well as Raylon. You will also be repeated in the US video. And then, yeah, so what I'm going to start doing is just going down the comments and just picking random names, ever since I made 100 subs, and just maybe if it's one or two, depending on how I feel. Today is going to be two because I'm making 2 videos. So congrats to Raylon and Jamal, and thank you guys for all your support and dedication for the channel. And I hope you keep your support, and hope I keep producing great content for you guys. And so, yeah, your names as a award will be featured in today's videos in both Canada and the USA. So congrats to you. But yeah, overall, I'm just going to be doing, that's going to be something new I'm going to be starting, is going through the comment section, maybe probably be random videos, and just picking out a random comment and just reading on it, and yeah, just saying, yeah, thank you for your commenting. And yeah, if you want your name to be found in a random comment or a random video, yeah, just comment down below, and who knows, I might pick your name or two. So yeah, without that, really no other announcements. Quality tournament, good roster that has been selected from Beth Priestman, and I'm really looking forward to see how they perform under pressure, and what looks like it's going to be a quality tournament. So without that, if you like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it, tell all your friends, and also that Canada will be competing against some top tier talent in their preparation for the 2023 World Cup.